that little bit of skin on that onion is everywhere.
It just went. Uh-oh.
Blinky, blinky.
There's our black.
They're live. Well, hello everybody. How y'all doing? We was waiting on y'all to come on. Sorry, last night it went off and didn't come back on for an hour or more. I was really beginning to think we might be out for the weekend.
Yeah.
If you don't see us on here, that's why. I'll try to post. Sometimes they won't even let me post. Sometimes I can get a post when I can't do a video. I'm trying to quickly get a few onions in here. We're not going to do too many onions. I don't know if y'all can hear me as well with this frying right here in our face.
I can shoot it back just a second.
Well, no. Mama's got to sit on the counter. Let me chop another chop on these onions. I'm going to put this little bit in there and see what we think, okay? This is coffee. It's brewed coffee from earlier today. This is Hamburger Mac Chuck. And I'm going to put a good amount in there. Whoops. I hit Mama's spurtle. Okay. And I'm going to put a good amount over here in this cup, too, to warm it up. I don't ever fail to pour a little bit of coffee when I'm warming it up. Alright, that's going to be cooking. This is going to go in there. Mama, you tell me if you want more, or if you think that'll be enough. Or,
I'm still again.
or do you want me to do the rest of this little piece?
Do the rest of that piece of that.
Okay.
Yes.
A little bit of it, or the rest of this, and that'll be about a fourth of a yellow onion. We use a lot of yellow onions in chilies and stuff like this.
We can use the rest of that in some chili tomorrow.
Yeah, I think we're going to do some chili tomorrow. Mama's been wanting chili.
It's snowing.
We would have fixed it tonight, but we already had part of this planned, and so that's what we're going to go with. So in here, I'm going to add tomato paste, whole can. I still have my tubes, but if I need as much as a whole can, I just use the whole can. So that's a whole can of tomato paste. If you want to know how big a can, you know, a regular little can, 6-ounce can. Okay, this is going to go together pretty quickly. Don't worry about boiling the coffee out of this as much as if you're making something else. The coffee will tenderize it. The coffee will give it a good flavor. It doesn't taste like coffee. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Oh, this coffee's about gone anyway.
Yeah. It is about out of here. Are y'all in a good mood tonight? If you've had a good day, it's been a snowy kind of day today. We've had snow flurries today, but not crazy snow. And we've had 2 or 3 little white dustings, and then it would kind of go away. Then this evening, about 50 minutes ago, it just started coming straight down, and we got about 1 inch up there. Now, we're supposed to get up to 6 inches. Yeah. You think we're going to hit that mark?
And if it keeps it up like it's kind of the last little bit all night.
We're supposed to be through 11 o'clock tomorrow. We're under watch. This is petite diced tomatoes going right in the big pot. Mama, you'll have to stir constantly. You'll wear yourself out.
I'm just trying to get the tomato paste mixed in, broke up.
So in here we've got about a half a pound of ground chuck, a half a yellow onion, a can of tomato paste that gives it a rich, deep flavor, 1 can of petite diced tomatoes, and I'm going to add cream cheese, and I broke it up into these little pieces so it'll melt quicker.
This still got that flavor. You want to try one?
Don't want to try a bean?
Yeah.
Bring that can if you want to and let them see what it is, because I forgot to tell you. Yeah, it's ready. This is Bush's Tex-Mex black beans. Oh, that does have a good flavor.
I didn't rinse them off. I just got that black off of them.
We just drained them, not rinsed them. Here's taco beans.
Taco beans.
They don't taste a lot like taco to me.
They smell more like taco than they taste.
Yeah. And we're going to let that cream cheese get in there and get it all warm. That's just going to layer a layer of richness. This is, some people call it hamburger helper. Some people would call it hamburger or whatever. This is going to be beef hamburger mac tonight. Now there's two ways you can do this. To be honest with you, when we fix something like this, it's usually because of, that's a little bit of tomato splattered over there. It's because we've had leftover macaroni and cheese, and that's what we have tonight. And that's one reason we didn't go straight to chili tonight, because Mama wanted this macaroni and cheese used. She ate some of it for lunch, and she said, this is still beautiful macaroni and cheese. Don't let this go to waste. I said, well, Mama, we can't just eat it until it's gone, because we wouldn't get it all eat. That's on 350. I'm going to turn it down. It'll have to be turned back up in a minute, but for the moment, I'm going to turn it down. Now, this is optional, of course. Everything's optional. I don't know why I even say this is optional, because this is cream. This is sour cream, and I'm only putting about 1/4 of a cup of sour cream. 1/4 of a cup.
Ooh.
You can tell where we're going with it. It's gonna be delicious. It's coming, ain't it, Mama?
It's getting white instead
Now
of
this
red.
is the macaroni and cheese we had left over. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and add a little half and half in this.
I don't believe you're going to need it.
Well, I'm just doing it for this.
Oh.
That's a brand new half and half. I'm going to put a little half and half, about 1/4 of a cup. You see that red on there? It's where I laid that tomato paste. I opened on both ends, and when I did, well, it got a little bit on my macaroni. Let's stir this in. Can y'all see what I'm up to? It don't. You can imagine somebody stirring a little bit of half and half in a bowl of macaroni and cheese. You can start from fresh with this dish. You can cook your macaroni, and then you can add cheese to this to get it to the where you want it. But that's leftover macaroni and cheese that we made. It's still delicious and still good, and in it goes. How much was it? Whatever was left, but it was about 1/4. So when you're making yours, add a cup of macaroni. Cook a cup of macaroni. That should be about right. Or you can add it right in here. You can add dry macaroni in there and put your liquids in. Beef and mac. I don't like when it runs down behind that handle. That's the only thing I don't care about a hot plate. There's some little crevices where food likes to run and hide. Those black beans, you can leave the black beans out, of course, like I already said, I guess. And that's beef and mac, or hamburger helper, whatever you want to call it. It ain't what you call it, as long as you call it at any moment. Now here, I guess you could count this as chili. I'm going to put a little chili in it. A little chili going in.
Uh-oh.
You may be out of the mood for chili by tomorrow.
Oh, gosh. This is going to be a big pot. We may have to eat this again tomorrow.
It's the weekend. It's the weekend. This is Parmesan. Fresh grated. Bought fresh grated, but it is fresh grated bought. People don't believe I even can use fresh grated cheese. But I can. Even sometimes I even grate it. Mama's seen me do it before.
Yeah.
We'll stir the parm in.
There you go.
stir that parm in. Just roll it. We're still blinking at night. I don't know really if there's a reason it's at night, but everybody's talking about it going on, so I don't think it's a problem, a me problem. It's a them problem.
It's these eye fit gets heavy on the electrical rods and they lose it.
I don't think we're there yet, and I just walked up there and checked the babies, make sure their beds were nice and had plenty of straw, and they were laying. I had to find them. They were laying out in the snow. What kind of dog lays out in the snow? Huskies? They're not husky, I don't think. I'll be glad to get rid of this bag of cheese because the zipper broke off from it and I've had to fool with it. It seems like I've used this forever.
That's a lot in there with that other
What?
cheese, ain't it?
You don't want this in there?
Well, you can put some, but I wouldn't put all that. Ain't that
No. Oh, Mom thought I was putting all of it. No, you don't put all this. And I guess you really could leave this off. This is just on top like this.
I thought you said you were going to put it out.
No, I said I'll be glad when I can get rid of this bag.
Oh.
Seems like I've used it over and over and over.
It just cause it's messed up.
I know. It's like anything else. It just seems like I've wadded this little bag up and put it back in this Ziploc bag a bunch of times. Look at that, how that's melded that perfect ring in there.
That's where the heat's at.
I know, but that's
And
just,
it's coming in right here because it's,
yeah.
you can tell where the heat.
It's funny though, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's put our cheese and our half and half away. Mama, you can tend to. I'm gonna get some parsley. You can tend to the pot.
Oh, you don't want me stirring it, do you?
Nah, you don't stir it no more. It's stirred out. We're stirred out. We've stirred.
We might have to eat some Fritos or restaurant style corn chips with this.
Yeah, that's what I got over here.
Oh, you done got
Mama, you remember everything we do, don't you?
No, I don't. I don't remember good at all.
This'll bring out the flay. Just parsley.
Well, I'm glad it's not black pepper right now.
You think I'm dangerous, Mama?
Well, no, I'd be running back through yonder sneezing.
Nah, you got used to the pepper world. Speaking of pepper.
I've got my shirt on. It says, "Let it snow." Let it snow, let it snow, Lord.
Well, you might want to take that off. But speaking of pepper, it is still peppering the snow.
It is.
Oh, full pepper out there.
Full of pepper.
Yes, ma'am. You know what? I thought those red bowls was right there.
I put them up earlier.
By all things, put something away.
I put them up early. I put them up earlier this morning.
By all things to go and do. Put something up. We'll never will find it if you put it where it belongs.
What?
This little onion has done its duty. I will wrap it up in pieces. Saran wrap or Tupperware or something later. Just not right now. Mama, what do you want? The regular? The usual?
I guess.
We'd like to know what you all are eating. Because if it's better than what we're having, we may copycat out from you tomorrow. Might we, Mama?
Yeah, we're copycats.
Well, I like to think of it as we get inspired by others. And then we want to eat something good. I'm very easily swayed by a good commercial. I can be influenced, especially when it comes to food. I cannot even want something and they'll show something. I'm like, boy, I'd like to have that.
Oh, I look at recipes and I think, I want that, I want that, I want that. And I don't end up fixing none of it.
And you want to eat most of it.
No. I don't want the ones I won't eat. It's the sweets that I want.
The number one thing that Mama and I don't agree on, and I say, don't say that, is it don't matter, whatever you want. She says that to me, and you all know it, and I know that it's not right. It really matters to
I'm
Mama.
moving, I'm saying.
It definitely matters to Mama.
Well, I was supposed to say you didn't use that, but it's splattered all over.
Okay, we're through cooking now. Now, Mama, do you want Fritos or do you want corn chips?
I think I'll take one.
Okay. We are ready to eat. My hands are clean. I just washed them again when I got our water.
Oh, I don't want it like that.
Yeah, I didn't get you a plate.
Well, I'll put it on my list. I don't want soggy
Here's your extra one.
chips.
All right. You just want to watch you want to see the pot. So there it is, completed. Let's do a flyover. You can serve it like that, or you can dip it up in a fancy. I just didn't serve it like that and wash this one thing. I love a good one pot wonder. Okay, let's talk about the recipe and let's talk about what I did. And some options. I took a piece of half a pound of ground chuck, put it in there with some onions like you would 90% of the things you do with hamburger meat. And then I'll let you get you some out and then we'll pray.
Yeah.
Then I put the black beans and put the tomato paste, the tomatoes. You can add rotel if you want to, if your taste palette is into that. You can put a little bit of something else. If you don't want to do the mac, you can do rice. So that's some options for you. Let's bless it. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this wonderful meal. We thank you for allowing us to partake of it together. We thank you, Lord. Thank you for our friends that are together. We thank you that we know that you've got us and that you'll answer those prayers and those needs and be with our country and be with all the people facing devastating things across this world and across our United States. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I don't watch the news, but I do hear enough of it that I know there's a lot of people suffering. The California fires. We got friends in California. We've got family that lives in California. It's bad. Bad. We're going to get Mama's verdict first. I didn't add any salt. If there was salt in anything, it just made its way in.
Well, it's got a different taste with the taco black beans, but it's good.
A different, you know, Mama, we're going to, we can let you get by with that.
Well, it's not a chili or a hamburger helper flavor.
Oh, you mean, okay, that's what you're saying. I thought different. That sounds like she don't like it.
See what I was talking about?
You can taste the taco beans. Mm-hmm. If you don't want to taste them.
But it ain't really taco flavor.
No, it's not really taco flavor. It's just that black bean taco combo. But you can leave that out, or you can just put plain black beans, or you can just put pintos, or you can put kidney beans, or you can leave all the beans out. But beans is a good source of the protein. And it's good. If we hadn't had the macaroni and cheese, I would have put macaroni in it. Or I would have cooked me some macaroni and then poured it in, and then I'd added more cheese. But the macaroni and cheese had cheese in it. So that's the reason I just put half and half to kind of re-liquefy it. Mmm.
That cheese, I always get it all over me. Is it on my face now?
This is good. You could, I don't know if you would want to use it this way, but you could use this like a dip. Another little thing you can do to this, and I have done it, you can add a jar of your favorite salsa. and skip the petite diced tomatoes, but I would still add the tomato paste. Mama, I think on a cold, snowy night, this is perfect comfort food.
Yeah.
Some good ground chuck, some macaroni.
With the macaroni, it'd probably stay with you a lot longer than the chili would.
Now you could just stop at the chuck and the onions, tomato paste, and macaroni if you wanted to, and just had plain beef and mac. Thank you, Brandy. It is delicious. I made a quick dinner, made cheeseburger, hamburger helper. There you go. How much different was yours and ours? And if you got that recipe, share it with us. Just a bit easier to make. Very similar, she said. Okay. Thank you, Tracy. Hello, Heather. Looks good, Gary says. Enjoy your meal. Gotta go. See him. Have a good evening. Be safe. I hope you ain't got to go out on a snowy road somewhere. I made homemade loaded potato. Oh, Linda. You know, I came real close today to asking Mama if she would make some of her homemade potato soup. I've just been hankering for some stewed potatoes, I guess. And then she mentioned the macaroni and cheese, and I got to thinking, we got the hamburger, that would be good. So I kind of got off of potato soup, but potato soup sounds wonderful.
That's the go-to when you feel bad.
I don't feel bad.
I know it, but when we felt bad, that's what we need.
Well, I really am not. Here's another thing.
Now, if you're giving that to me, I don't want it. I've got plenty.
I'm going to give you a warm-up.
No, it's just now till I can eat it.
I don't think I really want potato soup. One of you all mentioned split pea soup the other day, and I'm still a little bitter over the potatoes and pea thickening that I swear I've never had.
You've had it.
And I thought, that'd be a good night to do potato soup with peas in it. I can really taste the macaroni and cheese in it too. Mm-hmm. This could be used like a dip, kind of like I'm using it here. Just loading a chip. I don't know what it is. We eat the same foods year round, seems like. Hot food. Even in July, we fix hot food. And our house is climate controlled. Why does hot food and hot coffee warm you up, make you feel so comfortable when it's snowing outside? The temperature here ain't changed, whether it snowed or didn't. And in July, I still want a good hot meal.
Actually, it's warmer in here than it is in July.
Yeah, that's the truth. But it just feels like I just want, only thing that can make this any better, and if I designed a house, which I can see outside from here, if I designed a house, I would want a double window over my sink. I had that at my house, and that was one of my favorite things in my whole house, was that big, huge double window. I could sit and watch the birds. I could eat. I could watch the snow. Well, that's where the birds were, so on the mountain. And I had a bird feeder right outside my window. It's still there. I just don't get to see it. But it's so pleasant just to sit in the mornings and watch the birds. And one morning I was sitting there one Sunday morning, and I watched a coyote come out of the woods. I had a little bridge in the backyard over a little gully of a place, dry creek bed, coming out of the mountains, and he just come down under that bridge, poked his head out like he had just arrived at a party, looked around, went through my yard and down the road like he owned the place. And that was early one Sunday morning.
We've had a beautiful red cardinal in the backyard for over a week or longer
And
now.
I've kept him fattened up this week.
It's so pretty. It's so bright red, and it just...
There's a pair of them.
Well, yeah, but she's not as bright as he is.
She ain't as pretty as she, Mama.
No. And Mother Nature pulled a trick on the female bird.
Well, they gotta be camouflaged to nest. Mm-hmm. Mommy, anything you want to add today? She's not behaved today.
I have.
I had to scold her. And I had to scold her last night, too.
He scolds me quite often.
One more time, I'm going to ground her for a week.
3 strikes and you're...
If you believe anything I just said, write me. I've got some oceanfront property in Tennessee I want to sell you.
We're going to have to move the ocean up here so we can get...
If we could get a hold of an ocean, we'd be doing good. Mm-hmm. Last night, she decided, and that's the way it always is every year, and I know what's coming. She decided, I want to take the tree down the living room in the morning. And I thought, uh-oh, no. So I went in there and took all the ornaments off. We boxed them up. The tree was sitting there minding its own business with lights on it. And I said, now, Mama, this won't be hard to do. Tomorrow, I'll take it out in the garage and we'll box it up. Okay, that sounds fine. I had to do some more work, so I went back in the office. I come through the living room. The chairs have been moved. The table had been moved. The tree was moved. She had just... I said, Mama.
Straightened up.
You're not supposed to be moving that. Oh, it didn't hurt me. It wasn't heavy. I said, well, don't do that. I'll take care of it, and I'll take it out. I would have, she didn't take it to the garage, thank goodness. But she did that on purpose because she knows I would have heard the garage door open, and I would have said, what are you doing? So I didn't think anything else about it. This evening, I come through from the office, and she had taken the dining room tree down, the Coca-Cola tree, and was fixing to move the tables and stuff around it. I said, no, ma'am. I said, you're going to get in trouble.
No, you said, you are in trouble, is what you said. I know exactly what you said.
She's feeling better. Thank you for the prayers. Feeling much better. But now, I'm back to square one where I used to always be when I was worried about what she's into. How much snow? I'm in Middle Tennessee, and we got around 5 or 6 inches.
Ooh.
JK, we just started getting it about an hour ago. We've had it all day long, little flurries.
But it never did... Well,
but it never did really... It would stick a minute and then it'd go away. That kind of snow. But then about 4 o'clock, it started. And it was that kind of snow that when you look at it, you know it's going to lay. It was real fine, coming straight down. What no blowing, it's just straight down like we're here for the night. And it's still doing that right now. And we had about half an inch to an inch. The grass wasn't completely covered when I came in earlier, but it was, you could see a little bit poking out. It'll be covered probably now, by now.
I see snow on the tree limbs out yonder.
It's on the power lines, and it's on the trees, and it's on the roof, and it's still coming down. Now, we're said to be under this watch till 11 tomorrow morning.
Oh, my goodness.
So we'll see how
I
much.
hope it don't snow all night.
I don't think it will. But you know what? Whatever we get, we'll take it. That's all. We have no choice.
Don't have no.
She gonna make your chicken collateral. Lord, the old chicken collateral. John and Mama cracks me up. Well, thank you, Steve. It's real life. We're just living it. Good evening. Any snow is too much for me. I want spring. Sandra, I don't disagree. I want snow right up to Christmas, but on the 26th,
It can stop.
and we can go into spring. Thank God, no ice. And there's no ice here right now, Brent. We got 9.5 inches in Amarillo, Texas. Wow, Melissa,
Ooh.
That's a lot.
9.5.
In Texas. Hello, John and Mama. Well, thank you, Deborah, for being here nightly. I got almost 10 inches here in Oklahoma. Kimmy was showing hers the other night, Kimmy's Southern Kitchen, and she was making snow cream, and it looked like they had a lot.
Well, it says 100% through 8 o'clock, and then at 9 o'clock it starts dropping down to 80%.
100% till 9 o'clock?
Up to, yeah. Then, no, 8 o'clock it says.
12 inches of snow here in southeastern Oklahoma. Wow, Linda. Are y'all used to that kind of snowfall in Oklahoma? I made Mama mac and cheese. Loved it. It is good. And now you can take your macaroni and cheese you have left over and make you some Hamburger Mac. Come on, spring. Debbie will be here in 70 some days. Somebody on my Facebook page keeps posting how many days till spring. And they'll say, don't forget, it's only this many days. Or in 70 so days, we'll be having spring.
And you get the one that they're talking about, the days and hours and minutes. Not that I'm counting or nothing.
No, I don't get that one.
I got that one. And then at the end it says, not that I'm counting or anything.
It's funny how the seasons you love go so quickly and the seasons you don't drag. But I will tell you this, and you all will believe me, maybe. This month and next month are the two slowest months of the year. March starts picking up a little speed. April, a little bit more. May, June, people go on vacations. 4th of July will be here before you know it. Once March hits, 4th of July is just right there. But once 4th of July hits, I think that's the top of the hill, and we go till New Year's. It is the fastest last half of the year. It's been that way for years for me. Seemed like when I was a kid, it took forever for Christmas to get here and all that. Not anymore. But you think about 4th of July kind of has been the kickoff of summer, but it's not. It's almost time to get ready for fall. It's just so fast. But this is the slow part of your year.
Part of it, all the stores and people, they decorate for fall in August and get it early, and it makes you think about it more, and that's why you.
Well, Valentine's Day's been out for 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh yeah.
As soon as Christmas, I mean, before Christmas, it was Valentine's Day stuff. Yeah. But really, it's.
Oh, I don't know that because I ain't been in a store ever.
People will say time flies when you're having fun. Just say time flies.
It flies whether you're having fun or not.
So if you don't like winter, it's okay. Just enjoy the slowness of it. Make you some chili. Make you some goulash. Make you some taco soup. Not all at once. Make you some pinto beans along the way. Get you a good comfort food every week. And eat some grilled cheese and tomato soup. Those kind of things. And get you a puzzle. Some of you women crochet. I know you do because you send Mama crocheted stuff.
I had my Coca-Cola puzzle, but I don't want to open it up.
Why?
I want to keep it in the box in its original shape.
Not me, Mama. Not me. I ain't keeping nothing.
It's 1,000 pieces, though.
I ain't keeping nothing. What are you going to do with the puzzle in the box if you don't get out and enjoy it? You open the box, you enjoy it, you put it back in the box.
I may do that.
I ain't saving
it looks
nothing.
Hard.
Well, I got you the poster board.
I don't believe it's big enough for this 1,000-piece one.
I'll buy you another one. They're just $1.25. It's the foam board. You parents know what I'm talking about. Your kids probably had you out at 8:30 at night trying to find one for a project the next day. It's that foam board.
Only you done that.
Now, Mama, not only me, the whole world operates like that. We'll put it out on the kitchen table, and that way if we need the kitchen table, we'll move it on that board. And if we don't, it's a good place to sit and enjoy it. Or maybe even on the end of this island so that Mama can watch TV. And you can move it around if it's on a board.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll probably, tomorrow's a snowy day, we may start the Coca-Cola puzzle. Because one thing I don't want to do is save it in the box. My daddy had a good way of looking at things. You'd bring up something, I used to be the world's worst. And I would say, I'm going to keep that. It'll be worth something someday. And he would say to me, it's only worth as much as you can sell it for. And you can only sell it if you want to get rid of it.
If you got a buyer.
If you're going to keep it from now on, it ain't worth nothing. And I never did sell nothing. But he'd say it's only worth as much as you can sell it for. And it's only good if you're going to sell it. But if you keep it, it ain't worth nothing. And he liked to trade. I don't know if y'all are familiar with that or not. We call it trading around here. And he would even say, I'm going to go to town and see where I can hit up a trade. And he would keep pocket knives. And he might trade one knife for another knife. Or
tools or anything. A
knife or two for a drill or a saw. And it was just a little fun thing.
Fishing stuff. Tools.
He used to get antique fishing lures. And people wanted them. And he'd say, you got a pocket knife or anything you trade? What are you trading on today? If you're here in the South, like at the barbershop or at the grocery store parking lot and a group of men get together, one of them men is going to say, what you got to trade on? Could be a truck. Could be a dog or a horse, or could be a pocket knife. But what you got to trade on? What are you trading on these days? And that's how you get a good trade going.
I was talking about going to, Somerset. It's over iron some away from here. One time to go shopping, look at some of the stores. He said, well, let's go. I said, you sure? And he said, yeah. So we loaded up, got in the car, drove over there, took a while. And he said, stop right here on the side of the road. It's an old country store. They had everything in it. And that's where he traded and bought knives and done stuff. So he went in there and stayed. And when he come out, I said, let's go. Oh, well, we don't need to go no further. This is where we're going. So
Tricked you, Mama.
So I got to drive over there and sit. Went in there and looked around, then went back out in the car and sat while he traded and talked and went on. And then he's ready to come home when we come out. So.
When I was a kid and would get out for summer, one of the highlights of my summer was when Daddy would take vacation. And we would go to, it's about an hour and a half from here, London, Kentucky. And they have a stock market there. And outside the stock market, and if y'all know about the stock market, there's always a good flea market. This particular one had a little drive-in, and they had good hot dogs. And as a kid, that was a big deal to me. I mean, we didn't do fancy stuff, but going to London, Kentucky, was the highlight of my summer with Dad. Well, I was 11, maybe, and we had revival. And we had a visiting preacher who didn't know me and didn't know Dad, didn't know the whole circumstances. Anybody else would have known. And he said, you glad to be out of school? You know how preachers and adults will make conversation with little kids. And I said, I am. I'm excited. We're going to London Tuesday. You're going to London Tuesday, he said? And he said, that'll be a great trip. I said, yeah, I love it. And he said, you ever been before? I said, sure, every year. I get to go. And he said, wow. So here comes Dad and Mom. And the preacher says, well, your son here is telling me y'all are going to London and you go every year. And Dad said, Kentucky. Stock market. We'll be back for supper. And he said, oh, I thought y'all were going to England or... No, just London. I wouldn't have been any happier going to England. I would have been happier going to the London stock market because I loved it. I'd get to go 3 or 4 times a year. If Dad was off on a Tuesday and I was... There was a time or two I got to stay home or he'd come to school and pick me up early. But as a kid going to London, pretty good treat. London, Kentucky. Some of y'all know where that is.
A lot of them should know where it's at.
Well, you need to put your stories in your cookbook.
Oh, wow.
Love stories, precious memories. Well, I might do that, Pam. Might put a story or two. I'd love to do a hardback one and all that. But I've looked into it, and they're so expensive. And we're not interested in that.
More people wants to hear the chicken collateral.
Yeah. I may do a separate book sometime and do stories and write stories. But our cookbook we're planning at this time is going to be a church cookbook fashion so we can mail them more reasonably and charge a lot less, because if we could afford it we'd just send them out to everybody and be like a pamphlet, but we just want it to be
the mail, the postage is
everything's high and paper's high and everything's ridiculous.
Printing is high.
And that's really one reason we didn't do it a year or two ago, is because it was going to be so high. But now paper's a little bit more reasonable now than what it was. But
and then I didn't want to interfere with the church cookbook.
Right, we wanted the church cookbook to run its full course before we ever tried to do another cookbook. And but we're working on it. And we're not sitting right here at night typing up recipes. We ain't got that far. But we are organizing recipes, and Mama's deciding. This first cookbook, I want it to be a collection of Mama's favorite dishes. Mama's got, we call it the cookbook. If I say, is that in the cookbook? She knows what I'm talking about. If she tells me go get the cookbook, it's a big white binder. And it literally exploded.
It's poor. I dropped it, and I'm going to have to get another one.
It literally exploded on me one night on a live. I clipped it, going to take it. It was like it was spring loaded. It's so full. So we've got plenty of material. But we're going to get it together, and we're going to pick up Mama's favorites. And we had started, and she got sick in September, and we really just sort of stopped. But we are getting back into it. We was just talking about yesterday. Things in the cookbook. So we'll see. It's harder than you think. Just like lives are harder than you might think. Cooking on a live is harder than you might think. Not that we make it look easy. We make it look pretty sloppy sometimes. But if you've never tried it, give it a whirl. See what you all think. But everybody thinks you should do this, and we can't see the food. We can't. When you're just two people sitting at a counter with the phone, and people will say, "Why don't you stand up and do?" Folks, I'm 6'3", 6'2" now. I guess I've shrunken it ½ inch, but you can't. I'm up here. Mama's down here. We're lucky to get all of us in the food like this right here. This is the best I've been able to come up with. If we had somebody standing over there that could zoom in on the dish when I was cooking, and on me when I was talking, and on Mama when she was talking, it'd be better. We could do a whole lot different setup. And if that were the case, I would stand right there on that corner, because every time I'm cooking, that's where I stand. When Mama cooks, she usually stands right here.
Or over yonder, here, there.
Or over on that side. But, you have your little places and your stations. I stand on this corner because the sink's directly behind me, the stove's right beside of me, and the refrigerator's right there. So I make that little perfect triangle work for me. But I sit here and cook because I can do it right here on the counter. And that's the reason we use the hot plate as much, or the electric skillet as much as we do, because it's so simple. And I can twist this camera from there to here
and
to Mama. without making y'all sick. Because when I'm running around, y'all, when Mama was not cooking at all, and I was running around, y'all had to stare at a lot of counter and a lot of stuff. It's harder, much harder. So we're just doing the best we can with it. Just doing the best we can with it.
Yeah. Mama. And I don't help you with the camera.
Mama don't like the camera. Here's Mama. Mama don't like to be left alone with the camera. She don't care to stay here with me. But if I get up move, you'll see her hands. And I always say, well, sing for him, Mama, or it's dance. But she just don't like it. It makes her a little nervous. I don't know why. She's not afraid of y'all, and she's not that shy. It just...
I was shy when I was young. It comes out in me when I'm faced with her.
Yeah, and a lot of times people say, Mama don't act like she feels good. Or Mama's just quiet sometimes. Sometimes she's not. But when she's cooking or on task, if she's got a task,
that's my mind.
She don't hear you, she don't see you, and she ain't going to talk to you.
I've got it on that task to get it done.
And our wife has said, Mama, you're not talking. Even like at the holidays when her sisters and her family's here, I said, Mama, you ain't talking to us. Oh, I'm trying to get this done. I said, Mama, are you mad at us? No, I'm not mad at nobody. I'm just trying to cook.
Your daddy used to say that when we first got married that I wouldn't talk none. He couldn't get me to talk. If he went somewhere, I wouldn't say nothing or talk none. And he said, and now I can't get her to shut up.
She'll talk. She talks on the phone. But just sometimes it's not that you feel bad or you...
No, I just get on one thing on my mind and I stay there.
It's real life, folks. Unscripted.
I'm 76 now, so I've got a right to be.
You can do what you want to.
That's right. I can talk or not talk.
Well, what do you want to do right now? You want to stay on here a while, or you want to go?
We better let them rest. They're getting ready to go to bed.
It's 7 o'clock almost.
Oh, yeah.
I'm planning. I hope y'all don't think I'm too excited tonight.
Ooh.
On a Friday night. This is a lot of excitement. But I'm planning on warming up my coffee with some fresh coffee. And I'm planning on going out there and sit in the dark and look out the window and watch it snow. Woo!
It makes me cold to sit.
It don't make me cold. One of my favorite things in the world is just sit and mindlessly enjoy the snowfall.
I asked him earlier, I said, have you lost your mind?
Which time?
When you was out on the back porch in your sleeves, shirt sleeves.
I was taking care of babies.
Well, you was out there a long time.
I spent some time with them.
And I thought, you're crazy standing out here in this cold. And
Mama,
snow.
you just don't know the burdens I have.
Oh.
There was birds to feed. There was pups to feed and pet. And
you was moving furniture out there.
That was after. You didn't miss all the Lovins and the Holdens and the Wellens saying, get down, quit. Oliver has no personal space boundaries. He's going to have to be talked to. He wants to be in your face. He wants to be on the... for the first time, which he's huge. I ain't showed him to you in a while. The other day I walked...
when you're walking.
He wants to touch you while you're walking. He wants to be with you. The only way I can get him away from me is if I come through that door and then he wants to just stand there and look at me. The other day, let me tell you what he did. And I didn't approve either. I told him, I said, what are you doing? I walked out on the front, and for some reason, he's never done this before. He just reared up and put his feet on my shoulders. And I was like, well, hello? What are you doing? He was like, I just thought I'd come up here and chat. And he is as tall as me when he stands up again. And he'd never done that. Now, he's tried to rear up on me. He's done all those things. But the other day, it was like, I think I'm going to go all the way up. And here I'm standing, and he's got his feet on my shoulders. We're eyeball to eyeball.
He'd knock me down now if he done it.
I don't think it'd do you that way,
I ain't
Mama.
been out sitting on the back porch since it's got cold and I've been sick. Before it got cold and stuff. And he'd back up and sit on my feet. And I can't let him sit on them now. He weighs too much.
Well, out there tonight, I was standing there petting Abby. And I'd already petted him. You had to pet him first. And Abby's used to that now. She's like, go ahead, get it over with, and then you can come to me. You're the one that really matters. And I thought, well, he was laying on my leg, pushing up against me, and I said, you're going to push me over. I'm not as stable as I used to be, and you're just pushing my leg out from under me. They're a hot mess, and I realize that I have raised them this way. I take full credit. But they sure are babies, ain't they, Mama?
Spoiled is what they are.
Well, they're perfect babies.
They don't mind.
She's kind of right.
If that was you, I'd had you spanked before.
She minds Scott, the UPS driver, better than they do me. I mean, I can be yelling, get down, quit, come here, get in. He'll go, y'all sit right there. And they'll go sit down. They'll go
He gives them a treat. He gave them a treat the other day, and there's part in the yard of eating their treat. And when he left, they used to chase him. They just sat there and looked at him and let him go on.
All right, folks. We started to leave. We got off on puppy talk.
Oh,
now, we are not above doing that 6-8 times, so watch it. I mean, we could start all over right now, but we're not going to.
No, we got to let them go. It's 7 o'clock. We talked 5 minutes on puppies.
Sorry. Like
Shame on us.
We're unscripted. All right, Mama. Say good night, Mama.
Good night, Mama. God bless you all. Have a wonderful night and safe, warm night.
Stay safe. Stay warm. Catch us tomorrow. Whatever we're going to cook, we're going to show it to you. So holler. Bye.
Bye-bye.